Good morning, everybody. Following up One Patriot Place with E2G founder mock draft. 7 rounds for the Patriots in the war room. How I'd go about this, just to let you know, I do have a scouting background degree from the Scouting Academy. Been following the draft a long time. A lot of different elements, feelings. I've gone to pro days. So, we're all different, but this is kind of the grip I have on the whole thing. And I'm going to get in the room now. And you will see the great Stark behind me. He is here to assist me at any point in time. So we're going to start up the draft. We're picking at 14. Gonzalez, Richardson, Wilson, Carter, Levis, Anderson, Parrish, Johnson, Witherspoon, Smith and Jigma, Nolan, Smith. We're at pick 14. On the board, positions of need, offensive tackle. Skoronski is available. Broderick Jones is available. Joey Porter Jr. is available at cornerback. A lot of people are talking about Bijan Robinson, the running back from Texas. He's available at this point. Darnell Wright. And, pretty much all the receivers except JSN. So I'm looking here, and my call would be to somebody who might be interested in Bijan Robinson. So that's that'd be where I'd be looking right now. He's the best player on the board. He possibly could have gone top 10. You choose this time. So trade request in. I'm going to try to slide back to 21 with the Chargers. I know Austin Eckler is looking to get dealt. Bijan would be a really good fit for them and have to worry if they traded up now. They've got some pieces. This is going to help keep Herbert upright and taking less hits if Bijan Robinson is carrying the ball like Eckler did, or is that type of player. So the trade is going to be 114 to the Chargers for 21, 54, and 156. And they want a 6 back they're asking for. So my 187th pick. So we're out of there. Down to 21. This is where I'm probably going to look to see if a corner or receiver or who fell. I've really grown on Banks out of Maryland. Enjoying him. But looking at the offense, the weapon, the corners I want are gone outside of Banks. Maybe he slides a little bit. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers at 21, wide receiver out of Boston College. Going to get myself a weapon. Our next pick is 46. Driving through, Hendon Hooker's still on the board at 46. What am I thinking? 26-year-old quarterback would have been a first-round pick. ACL recovery. So there's going to be some time. This could be a learning year. So what you could find out this year is, do you have your quarterback in place and you have the next guy ready to go, up and ready? He'll be 27 as a starter in his second year, or his first season, we'll call it, because he'd probably be on IR or PUP for the season. So I'm going to go with Hendon Hooker, 46, quarterback out of Tennessee. I just think it's too good to pass up. Plus, I have 54 right around the corner, so I can fill one of my needs. The tackles, Bergeron, Freeland, and Duncan. Freeland is my favorite out of this. I'm probably going to be able to get him at 76. He is the favorite tackle to me on this board. At corner, Clark Phillips, Darius Rush, Tyreek Stevenson. I like Rush, but not at this point. I think that's a guy I'm holding on. A guy I'm looking at, highly rated, a position that could be used, and I've mocked him before, is Drew Sanders, linebacker out of Arkansas. And he can do a little bit of everything. He can blitz, he can cover, play in the run game, give you a dynamic. He can start off as a sub-package guy and work his way through, because Juwan Bentley appears to be a guy that Mayo and the coaching staff and front office really like, is a next guy to step up to be a leader in this franchise. So we haven't drafted a corner yet or a tackle. I know those were big needs. We're at 76. I'm grabbing Blake Freeland, offensive tackle out of BYU. I think he's athletic. Might need to put a little bit of weight on, but he can play that left tackle, push beyond. He reminds me a lot of Nate Solder. He really does when I watch his game. So we're up to 107, fourth round, couple of offers for trade downs. Nothing really exciting. And another thing I always try to do is try to add picks for next year, because when you get into training camp and you start getting injuries, you may want to find a guy on another roster and flip a fourth-round pick for him and bring him in. It happens every year. So with these offers, I'm not only getting picks for this year, but I'm getting picks for next year. So we are going to go corner here. Surprise, we waited this long. And the pick will be Riley Moss. Murph was just talking about him, the cornerback out of Iowa. Kirk Ferentz guy, good speed, good lateral movement. I think he can play both outside and inside. He's physical enough. You got to be physical to play in the Big Ten. The Lions are trying to jump up to 117, and they're offering a fifth, which I don't have a fifth. Well, I do from the previous trade, and 194. I don't need that much. I would have taken a pick this year, 1-for-1 and something in the future. And the Jets are offering 2 picks for next year. So we're at 117, fourth round. Guy of interest was Andre Carter, that I know they had interest in, scouted. He's fallen a lot. There was a time he was a first-round pick. My worry is he's kind of lanky. He's going to need to put some meat on. So is he a guy you bring in as a developmental because you have pretty good at that position between Uche and Judon? Or do you go with someone who's going to be more reliable, fit the system right away, and hit the ground running? I think Carter's like on your 53-man roster, but I think he's inactive a lot. Maybe you never see him. He's like the Ronnie Perkins. He's like hidden underneath the stadium. Has anybody ever really seen Ronnie Perkins? Does anybody know what he looks like? I'm going to check out the tight end market. Nope, nothing there. Interior offensive lineman, 117. I like Ricky Stromberg, but not at this point, the interior offensive lineman. I'm almost looking to get out of here. Trade. Because even the corners right now, not a fall. All right, 117. I drafted a linebacker. It's too early for Jake Moody. Everybody has the mock draft of Jake Moody. So, and that's Stark saying hi to everybody. I'm going to pull the trigger on another tackle. I'm going to go with Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen, offensive tackle out of Alabama. He's 98th rated on the big board, 117, Nick Saban connection. War number 54 there. Just to have more tackles in there because, Riley Reif and Anderson are going to be more of role players. I'm hoping I don't see a lot of those guys on the field this year, and I think Riley Reif is going to eventually trend into a coach. So at 135, the Broncos are offering 4 down and a fifth next year. I'm all over that. So I'm going down to 139. Following Indy. Green Bay's trying to dump picks on me. Raiders are trying to dump picks on me. Arizona. Indy. San Francisco. No. So make a pick again here at this spot. And positions in need, we've gotten a couple of tackles. See what's on the wide receiver board. Still guys that I can probably get a little later. But I look at corner. I'm going to see a physical guy here. Available SEC guy, Jalen Jones, Texas A&M cornerback. It's going to be a nice fit. Played in the toughest conference in the country on a team that kind of underachieved last year. But he was their number one corner. Get down to 156, and now some of the needs. Defensive line, linebacker is filled. Edge, safety, and tight end are three positions that can be looked at. And the value right now for Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion is too good. You bring him in as your third guy. You have two guys left on one-year contracts. So what you're trying to do is build up that position. And, if he's active some weeks, he's contributing, learn from the other two. Because Gazicki, I don't know if you can really consider him a tight end. He may throw his body in front of somebody eventually during the season. We'll all clap when that happens. But that isn't why we brought Gazicki here. Defensive line, always got to draft linemen. The guy I'm most interested in is Dante Stills. I can probably get him a little later. I'm going to pull the trigger now at 184 and go get the guy that everybody has mocked to the Patriots. Jake Moody, kicker, Michigan. So we got our leg. 192. Plenty offers to suck up some seventh-round picks. I don't want to have too big of a draft class. So now we're out there trying to fill some holes. I know we need a punter, and there's a group of three that are still available. So I am not touching the punter here at 192. I'm going to take a look at edge. I'm going to Oregon. DJ Johnson, and I have intel on him from Adrian Clem being the offensive line coach at Oregon. So at pick 192, I'm going to grab DJ Johnson, edge player out of Oregon. See what happens with Perkins, Anthony Jennings in his last season. We're probably going to see an Uche extension soon. And we're at 210. My favorite players in this whole draft. He can kick inside to guard, too, so I got myself some more line versatility. A good game day guy later. They got to coach him at the East-West Shrine game. Jackson Kirkland, offensive tackle, offensive lineman out of Washington. I see him playing inside at the next level, but he's a guy who gives you some versatility on game days. If you have a couple of injuries and things go to crap, he's a guy who can be available there. And we have one more pick at 245. I want to see who the two of my favorite guys available too. Mohamed Ibrahim, running back out of the University of Minnesota. But I have Robinson. I have the two draft picks from last year. And I have Ramondre, who had way too many touches last year. That's why it's good to have Robinson here. I think Robinson's really an underrated addition here. Good replacement for Damian Harris. I'm going to go with Bryce Ford Wheaton, wide receiver out of West Virginia. That was another guy that they had at the East-West Shrine game. So it's just played itself out. So myself, the draft class, trade down, 21, Zay Flowers. 46, I'm grabbing Hendon Hooker. It's too good of a value. Quarterback out of Tennessee. Because I have another second-round pick right behind it because of the trade. So I can take a chance. I can rehab him. I can get him in the building. We know he's a good leader. We know he's athletic. And if things don't work out with Mac, you have a guy here along with Zappi. And you continue the cycle. 54 overall, Drew Sanders, super athletic linebacker, can do a lot of things. blitz from the linebacker level. Probably start off in sub packages. Just great speed out of Arkansas, played in the SEC. Blake Freeland, my favorite left tackle in this draft, from BYU. Athletic again. I think he's a Nate Solder light. 107, cornerback Riley Moss out of Iowa. Gives you some versatility, and there's some people who think he could play safety too. So a guy who plays around. Remember, in the AFC now, you need coverage, man. You got Buffalo. Now you got the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. And, Miami just in your division. And then Kansas City outside, Cincinnati, Jacksonville. Don't forget they added Calvin Ridley. So they got another good receiver outside there with Christian Kirk and Ingram and the rest of that crew. 117 overall, Tyler Steen, offensive tackle out of Alabama. 139, Jalen Jones, cornerback out of Texas A&M. 156, Zach Kuntz, tight end, Old Dominion. Definitely read up on him. There's a couple of good Old Dominion players in this draft. 184 overall, Jake Moody, the kicker we all want from Michigan. Super leg, 59-yard field goal in the playoff game. Kicked in terrible weather. I love guys who kick in shitty weather. 192 overall, DJ Johnson. Might need a little bit of work, but he's a good developmental project from Oregon. He took over that Kayvon Thibodeau role out there as the guy, the rush guy. 210 overall, my versatile offensive lineman, Jackson Kirkland. He can give me both guards, probably both tackles, and you could probably teach this kid to snap. He's super, super smart. If it weren't for injuries, he's drafted much higher. And the speedy Bryce Ford Wheaton, wide receiver out of West Virginia. So that's what we have there. Let's see if any of this matches up with the next 3 days. But thank you for watching in the War Room. Have yourself a great day.